How was it playing with those guys at that age?
Like eighth grade, man, like this guy named Ari Allen, who was like Baby Shaq on Ripley's Believe It or Not, that show. That was like Ripley's Believe It or Not. Remember that show?
I remember that show, and I remember the guy.
He was 13,
Baby
he was
Shaq,
6'10".
yeah.
So him, Brandon Jennings, DeMar DeRozan, a guy named Malik Story went to ASU, and some other guy that was
Malik
on the team.
Story, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's a big time player. But off the tip in eighth grade, tip back to Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings was a half court lob to DeMar DeRozan. He throws a dunk.
Oh, crazy.
Off a
Eighth grade?
Eighth grade. And I'm like, well, that guy's going to NBA.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, probably.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to the next episode of the APL Sports Show, and I'm your host, Coach D. This isn't just a podcast, this is a mission, and I'm glad that you are on this journey with me. Today's guest isn't just about recovery and empowerment. He's a board-certified doctor of physical therapy, a movement specialist, and a trusted name for athletes and clients looking to not only bounce back, but to come back stronger than what they were. From the clinic to the weight room, from injury prevention to peak performance, he has built a reputation for results, blending science, energy, and care into every session. His workouts with athletes of all levels, helping them stay in the game, extend their careers, and level up their mindset through the power of movement. Whether you're hurt, healing, or just hungry to perform, he is your guy. I'd like to welcome the one and only, my brother, Dr. Kyle Jordan.
Appreciate you having me, man.
My
Thanks.
God, what's up, man? How are you
Quite
doing?
the intro, man. I'll take that all day.
Oh, man, I hope I didn't miss anything.
You may
man.
have to write my next business statement, man.
My God, let's go, man. Awesome, man. So you sure I didn't miss anything in there?
That's a good. I know that's a great way to describe it. And what we tried to do was take all these recurring injuries that I was seeing in clinical practice, figure out a way to get ahead of them, and then blend that return to sport model. That's kind of great.
Awesome, man. So
Like
I did my research good then, man.
Yeah, right.
Let's go. All right, man. Like I said, thank you again for pulling up, bro. I know like you're hella busy. I know I see it throughout social media just from chatting with you as well. And but being that you're able to pull some time away to come sit down with me, man, I really, really appreciate that, man. More than you know, man.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, man. So the first question that I like to start off with any podcast, man, is I want you to, like, in a small, nutshell, 30 seconds to a minute, can you let everybody know who you are,
So my name's Kyle. I'm by trade a physical therapist, but I used to be an athlete. I played basketball my whole life. I lifetime hooper. Like I really relate to that demographic and that crowd. And I suffered through similar injuries that these guys are dealing with. And so to me, like I can relate directly to that population, to those guys I'm with. So for me, it was like a perspective of, hey, let's use this science and education that you spend so much time for. Let's apply it positively to the guys that you used to be, and then come full circle. It's like this full circle moment where it's like it all connects and comes together.
Absolutely. I love it.
So in a nutshell, man, I'm someone who likes to help people through, like you said, movement and science and education, empowerment through strength and power and getting back to their sport. And then at the end of the day, kind of treating them as a human being.
Let's go.
So.
Love it. Let's go, man. Right. Next question I got for you, my boy. Before the title of doctor, right? I know you said you were a hooper. But can you talk about who you were growing up as a kid, where you're from, your background, things of that nature?
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm from Orlando, Florida, originally.
Orlando, Florida.
My dad was an actor, so he
Really?
he was on soap operas and TV shows.
Oh, wait. What's
Like
the
Young and the Restless.
No way, bro.
Born and Beautiful. Is
Yo,
one of them,
no. Is it Born and Beautiful?
Bold and
Beautiful. Yeah, Bold and Beautiful. Yeah.
So he was on those shows, and we actually had to leave where we were at because he actually played like a bad guy, like low-key a rapist on the show.
What?
And we were getting death threats to the house.
Wait.
Bro, some people take this stuff very seriously.
Soap opera, we're taking that seriously.
They are. I'm not saying they're white. They're specific women in certain age demographics specifically, but like those are the people that watch these shows and believe it to be true.
And they would give him dirty looks.
We were getting
and
death
everything.
threats, like, how dare you do this to April so-and-so? Like, he's like, I'm just an actor. So we moved from Florida
What?
to LA, and then lived in like the valley, like Van Nuys, kind of for a while.
Yeah.
And then I grew up out in like Thousand Oaks, went to Westlake High, went to play hoops out there, and then went to grad school in San Diego.
Got
and I was
you,
like, that's how I got down to South County, because I went to grad school in San Diego, worked with the Ducks and the Angels for a little bit, and I was like, I'm never going back.
I'm never going back
to LA.
Let's go. Really?
So that's kind of how I got here, man. So
Okay.
like how I got into the scene down here is because grad school brought me down, and I realized like that
I
hustle
wanna
of
stay
LA.
here. Yeah. You didn't want to do
It's
it
not
no
for
more.
me. I'm good, man.
Nah, I heard that.
So I
man.
found a cool little spot in San Clemente, and then I've been there for like 6 years now.
Oh, you really been there for a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
That's home for you now.
It is at this point, man. Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bro, but death threats? over
Death
a
threats,
soap
like
opera?
yeah, absolutely, man. Like legitimate. Like we're gonna come take your family, kill your kids. Like my mom was kind of freaking out a bit. So much so that we moved like to the boondocks, like in LA, like
Really?
a small town next to Palmdale. Like,
Yeah.
Afro Man, like
Yeah, Afro Man. Yeah, all the
like
man.
that
He's
area.
an Afro Man. What you know about
You know what I'm
Afro?
talking about?
Yeah,
Well,
I
just
know
because that
Afro
was the
Man.
only song that anybody ever knew about that
Yeah,
town.
man.
And so yeah, and been out here for a minute and started my own practice about a year ago.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Before we go in for what's the name of your practice, man?
It's gonna be called. It's actually rebranding right now.
Okay.
It's gonna be called Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Performance.
Prodigy
Yeah.
Performance.
Yeah.
Has that been made public yet?
A little bit.
A little
but
bit.
It's on its way.
All right.
Yeah.
APL Sports Show exclusive right here.
Right.
Prodigy. Let's go, man.
Yep.
All right. So the next one I got for you, man. Was there a specific moment or a personal injury, a mentor, something that you witnessed that made you say, I want to be a physical therapist?
It's a great question, man. I had spondylolisthesis or what's called pars fractures, which is essentially when you grow.
What is it again?
It's called spondylolisthesis.
Spondylolisthesis.
It's a very weird very weird anatomical Latin term. But it means when the vertebrae shifts anteriorly or forward on the other one. So a lot of times guys who land compressively,
Yep.
like people who have pain back bending, especially younger kids,
Yep.
it's because the joints are compressing every time you extend.
Okay.
And that causes micro fractures, which then causes this shifting of the vertebrae. We see it a lot of times in gymnasts and high-level dancers because they do repetitive hyperextension.
Yep.
But we see it in like high-level hoopers because they land with so much force.
They do.
And so I grew like 6 inches in 1 year. The one growth spurt I had, thank God I had one of them. I needed one of them, bro.
Yeah, you needed one of them, man.
And during
6
that
inches a
time,
year.
I developed these pars fractures in my back. Through my sophomore year of high school, I had to sit out the whole year. Had like a rigid brace, and during that time, I got introduced
Well,
to
you had a brace around
like
you, but-
external, like it's called an exoskeleton, bro. Like it's
Really?
like, it's from here to here, and like I had to wear it all day. And during that time, I got introduced to physical therapy in a place called Proactive Sports Performance.
Proactive Sports
which is by Ryan Capretta, who's the man. Trains like KD, all
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, all those guys in the summertime.
Yep.
He was starting his little training facility inside the clinic I was at that time.
And this was in Orlando.
18. No, this was in LA, like 18 years ago.
And then where is it again?
Like Thousand Oaks.
Thousands. Okay, got you. Thousands.
Where the original, yeah. So that's how I got it there.
Got you. That's right.
So actually, Ryan and I go way like that company is doing great, but I knew him before he's like branched on his own.
That's wild.
So
That's
my
wild, yeah.
my introduction, like experience to what I'm doing now, actually was with him 19 years ago before it was a thing.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky because I got like mentored, not necessarily directly, but it was indirect mentorship because of the injury I had.
So that's crazy. So it came full circle. Like
That's
you
exactly
said.
what I'm saying. It came full circle because I was that 16-year-old hooper, like with back pain, couldn't get on the court, and then now I'm the guy treating that same 16-year-old hooper to get back on the court.
Let's go.
And so I relate to these guys because I went through the same thing. Like my knees that you can see like in the mirror, like those archer slaughters right
Oh
there.
yeah,
bro.
I deal with it too, man.
Anybody,
My knee as well. Yeah.
Anybody who's some degree of athleticism,
Yeah.
some has that, right? So
Yeah.
man, that's kind of where we're at.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
All right, cool. Next one I got, man. We hear the word rehab and we think recovery, but your approach is different from what I've watched for the last year or so that we've been following each other. And I can tell it's a little bit different. But how would you describe your methodology when it comes to performing and healing and training your athletes?
It's a good question, man. I think nowadays we're lucky because technology is available that allows us to really assess people. And I think that when you look at the paradigms of rehab, in other words, a lot of times rehab, at least back in the day, was looked at as like a very low level intensity, small stimulus to get you back to baseline.
Yep.
Whereas now we look at it more like, let's get you way more stronger, way more explosive, et cetera, prior to your injury. So my approach is like, okay, yeah, let's address this injury, but let's look at why it happened in the first place. But also, how do we maximize your athleticism to prevent anything else from happening? And a lot of times, clinicians will just address the knee pain, You can do massage work and soft tissue work, hypervolt the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Might make some kid feel better for a day or two, but like, what happens when you ask them to full sprint decelerate on the court?
That is.
And if you don't expose people to those stimuli, I think you miss the boat.
You do.
So my take is more like let's blend that gray area between sports performance and rehab, and like let's see if there's a fine line. And I think most of the time there is.
100%. Yeah, it is. 100%.
Like you know, like strength coaches and return to sport. That's a very similar paradigm. Like it's a very similar non-linear path.
It is, man. It is.
And I think that's where rehab fails. Is like they miss that strength and conditioning element, and then you have this like kid who has no idea where to go, and he finds you like 8 months into an ACL repair, but he stopped PT for 5 months.
Yeah.
And he comes to you with deficits, but like you're supposed to be the guy to get him sprinting again. But how do you integrate that? So I think that's where our practice is a little bit different. Is that it really takes that question, like where do we go from being discharged from PT, but we're not ready on the court yet.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. You said something about I think you put it as a way like how can you train in the stimuli to do something, right? It's like trying to teach a kid to run, but you're not taking them outside to run.
100%.
Like what are we doing, man?
Exactly.
You can't
What are we
do that,
doing?
man.
Right. If your rehab is not at least as intense as the sport, you've missed.
You missed it, 100%. Yeah.
Because you failed on exposing them to the intensity that they'll be on the court.
Absolutely. You have to. You have to do that, man, because you don't do them justice if you don't do it, man.
You failed. Yeah.
Awesome. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's one major misconception athletes have about physical therapy that you wish you can change?
I think and this is no one's fault. I think it's more about the amount of providers to ratio to kids. But in training rooms, like on campuses, there's one trainer to 40 athletes at a time. And they'll be like,
really
go
like that?
like most high schools, man. There's like one athletic trainer, two athletic trainers, and there's a lot of athletes in that room.
It's a lot of athletes.
And if I got 10 guys ask me what to do at once, I'm saying go foam roll that, go stretch that, because you're just blindly telling people what to do.
Yep.
And I think that's what gets misconstrued is that physical therapy is like stretching, massage, foam rolling. When it's really like progressive loading, intelligent assessments, and progressively planing.
Yeah.
And I think guys come into my clinic being expected like cupped and like massaged the whole time, but they don't realize like their back pain, their tightness is a result of other things. So let's address those.
Well, you know what, man, and I'm thinking about, just athletes in general, certain athletes, and it comes from parents. Their form of recovery is you stretching, foam rolling, anything like that. I'm saying, so what are you doing to treat the pain?
Exactly.
And we're just doing this. That's not going to work.
It's not enough. It's not enough of a load. But also, man, physical therapy has evolved crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like,
it keeps evolving.
25 years ago, like Blue Shield used to reimburse providers like $160 a visit, $220 a visit, just to do like 10 minutes of soft tissue, ice, and stim.
What?
So clinicians were printing money doing the bare minimum.
Bare minimum. That's crazy.
So you could see 3 patients now, you got reimbursed $25 for putting an ice pack on something. So like that. So the field eventually realized like, oh shit, this isn't really making any outcomes. We're not going to pay for that. And then now it's like the paradigm is shifting towards away from this mentality of like ice, stim, massage work on the table versus like actually being on the in the weight room.
Yeah. So making it more ratio for PTs in there with the athletes. I like that.
Yeah,
right.
And I think a lot of times, man, schools are starting to invest and understand they need clinicians on staff.
Yeah, you got to, man. Especially with the way sports is evolving, right?
Yeah,
man, you got to have
with the specialization of sport, right? Like we got guys who only play baseball.
Yeah.
When you were young, did you play one sport only?
I played multiple sports, man.
Exactly.
Did you?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should. But nowadays we're specializing at age 11.
Oh, man, I hate
that. And then you have these overuse
man.
Injuries specific to that body part, and it's like, well.
I hate that, and I tell, my athletes, their parents all the time, man, what other sport he's playing? Oh, we just focusing on baseball, pitching. Right. Like, dude, why he's only 10?
Exactly.
Let him go play football or something, whatever it is, man.
Like the variability, the plyometrics you get from basketball is not something you're exposed to in baseball.
Say it again. That's what I tell them all the time. The different things that you would do and work on in basketball is only going to enhance what you do in baseball.
Exactly.
You see like these shortstops who are able to make these hella athletic plays. Man, they probably played multiple sports.
100%, man. I think there was a study that put out that looked at injury risk and was like that the more sports you play as a kid decreases your injury risk.
I believe
directly. Like it's a direct inverse relationship.
Oh, yeah, I believe that 100%. That wouldn't even surprise me, man. And I look back at you think about Nick Saban. Nick Saban when he was recruiting people, athletes, he told them like if well, how many sports you play growing up?
Right.
I only play football my whole life. He won't recruit them.
Yeah.
Because he want kids that play multiple sports,
Exactly.
man.
Multiple people, multiple athletes. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. You work with athletes in pain, physically and mentally. How do you help them not only rebuild their bodies, but rebuild their confidence, man? Confidence is something that's huge.
That's a great question, man. I think a lot of times guys get caught up in the terms that doctors use. So you and I go to a physician, like an orthopedic doctor, and he says, your patellar tendon is that of a 90-year-old. And then you got you have this mental image in your head of like, oh, my knee's fragile. And half of that is like reducing the apprehension barrier, like talking them off a ledge, but then gradually exposing them to harder things. But with the understanding that like this is a multifactorial approach, like you got stress of school, you might have a girlfriend, you might have friends, like you have this transfer portal thing going on. Like I had a kid at J. Sarah, he transferred from Texas, and he didn't know anybody. He went to 4 different high schools, but he's an elite basketball player.
Went to 4 different high schools?
4 different high schools. 4, like sophomore, freshman year, junior year, like every year was a different school.
Wow.
So think about that mental adjustment he had to make, not only to the demographic, but to the school.
To the school, yeah.
So like sometimes you're just a friend.
Oh man, that'll destroy your confidence, man.
How do you have a community? You don't.
You don't.
So
have one, yeah.
so like you're in the middle of season, like you're beaten up. You don't love where things are at from from a socioeconomic standpoint, from where you're at. You got pressure in your family. Who do you lean on other than the person that you get to go spend an hour with 3 times a week? Probably me.
Probably me. Yeah, you're right about
so
that.
I end up being kind of the voice or like the ears that people want to talk to, because when you got hands on people, man, like there's a level of trust.
It's a level of trust, man.
I think there's a level of trust, and I think that guys will tell me things that they maybe don't tell their parents or their colleagues or their friends, and it's kind of that interesting mentor / older brother role.
There it is. Yep.
I'm not quite old enough to be their dad, obviously, but like I don't look young enough to be like their brother and stuff. But like it's kind of that in between.
It's in between there, yeah.
So yeah, and just because I relate to them, because I've been there, right there.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with you on that, man. Talk about athletes that I train, right? Is you kind of feel that void of being. And like you say, you don't want to say father figure because they have fathers, but you talk about that older big brother, or what they say now, oh, you unc.
Yeah, right.
You unc. Now,
Right.
I just had one of my athletes tell me that on Tuesday. Like, Coach, do you realize that, I've been knowing you since I was 7th grade. Now I'm going into the 11th grade, 10th, 11th grade. You're unc now.
For sure.
I was like, man, you put it in perspective.
I'm excited because I got guys that I started 11th, 12th now that I will see them through their high school career. And like that'll be a cool evolution to see that full transition from little league elbow to senior year pitching.
Yeah, man.
Versus the guys that see in their senior year high school a bit different.
You sound like me. Like listen, man, I get the question all the time, like, especially from younger athletes, right? They'll get on social media and they will see, coaches like myself that are working with NFL guys and things like that. And that's great. I would honor doing stuff like that as well. But they ask me, why don't you try to work with more? And my answer is simple. I get more of a rewarded feeling working with the younger kids, watching them develop and go up through the ranks.
It's a great point, man. And similar to physical therapy, like a lot of times people are like, why don't you want to be on an NBA team?
Yeah.
It's like, well, the actual intrinsic value you get from working in that demographic is not necessarily as good or fulfilling as getting someone to walk again.
Yeah, man.
Like you can make an elite athlete who's worth a lot a lot a little bit better.
Yeah. But they was already elite when they came
like
to you,
they're
right?
like in like if you look at it from a bird's eye view, like their perspective, like it's a different perspective, right? And I think if you make a tangible difference in someone's life that it directly relates to their outcomes, I think that's more meaningful. Like
100%. Yeah.
And there's a level of like, not respect, but like acknowledgement. Like if you work with pro athletes, sometimes they'll be on their phones the whole time. Like this, like stretching their feet, just doing stuff on their bodies, and they're just not there.
Yeah, not there. Yeah, and they got a million other things they're worrying about.
Yep. Whereas like the high school kid, like it's the biggest part of their day.
Yeah, it is, man.
Or that post-operative ACL, like this is what they've been looking forward to all week. Whereas you got to beg NBA or NFL guys sometimes to get in the weight room. Yeah. You have to reduce their volume of workouts to like 3 cleans, to like a clean, like a snatch and something else, because that's all they're gonna do.
So I hate to say it, so it doesn't really necessarily come between. It's like it's babysitting, but you're like, I'm just maintaining you right now, basically.
I'm holding you accountable so that like no one yells at you, but like you're a grown ass man and you're much bigger than me. But
you're right about that.
You know what I mean? Which is interesting because you would think that like those high level, super athletic NFL, NBA guys would want to be the ones in the weight room all the time.
Yeah.
It turns out, man, like it's really not as much the case. Like if you're a staff PT on an NBA team, like you're kind of like
you just
the guy that no one wants to hear to to pull in.
Oh,
Like
that's crazy.
like if
man.
you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday games, like Mondays you have a game. After the game, you got to lift because Tuesday has to be off.
Yep.
Because you got to keep the high days high and the low days low. So you got to beg LeBron and two other guys to lift on a Monday night after they play the Hornets. Like you know what I mean? Like they don't want to be there.
They ain't gonna be there. They going
No,
home.
no, exactly.
They going home, man.
Right.
Yeah, they going to see their family, man. Oh, that's wild, man.
Yeah.
So when you worked with high level athletes
Yeah.
like you had to this, so it's the same.
I work with them in the private sector, so a lot of it's
Gotcha.
NDA based. Like I can't post
Yeah,
a
no,
lot
yeah,
of it.
absolutely. I wouldn't even ask you that.
No,
man.
no,
Yeah,
I'm saying just
yeah.
like a lot of it's on social media because I literally can't do it. But it's like I'll fly to people's homes on the weekend. Like I'll be in and out of a city in one day.
Wow,
Um,
really?
Just to assess like where because a lot of times, man, like people will hire physical therapists who don't play that sport. Like if you're an NBA team, you need to hire a therapist who played basketball.
yeah, you.
My
Yeah,
opinion.
it makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that?
In my opinion, bro, but there's a lot of people that work in this field that are really talented clinicians but didn't play that sport. And so like you evaluate the rehab lens from a different perspective. Like you need to be able to decelerate and be
yeah,
shifty.
understand that, right?
Like
yeah,
how do
man.
you replicate that exercise if you don't even know the demands?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's,
So you can kind of find a niche in that realm and then kind of like specialize in that.
yeah, okay.
For
got
me,
you.
it's hoops for sure.
No, I agree with you. You
Yeah.
would think they would want to hire somebody who at least has some type of background in the sport, right?
Sometimes they just hire really qualified, educated people, man. It's interesting.
That is definitely interesting, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
bro. All right, man, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
All right, you're not just fixing injuries, man. You're preventing them as well. What are the three biggest mistakes young athletes, and I hate to say young, but it's just say athletes in general, athletes make that put them at risk before they even know it? What do you think, man?
What injuries do they have predisposed to?
Yeah. Let me read it again. Let me read it one more time for you. So you're not just fixing injuries, man. You're preventing them. What are some of the biggest? Let's put it this way. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see athletes make before they actually, get the injury?
Okay.
Injury.
I can think it like a biomechanical lens,
Yeah.
maybe. So like a lot of guys don't use their feet and their hips well to control their knee. You see a lot of valgus, internal rotation, and collapsing of the
rotation,
foot,
yep,
collapsing of the knee as a result of poor foot mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of guys are more concerned about that number on the bench versus like what that means.
I wish I had a mic to drop that right now. I wish I had a mic drop.
I think
on
that there's
man.
this paradigm where like the more pounds you're lifting, the better, the more athletic you are, and I think it's not true.
It's not
I
true.
think that really strong people are really slow sometimes,
Man,
and I think that kids think that they should just squat as much weight as they can,
Listen,
and I think that's a problem.
Yes, 100%, man. I tell kids, I know you want to, I want a PR and hit this. I get all that, man. But don't get fixated on that number.
Exactly, man.
It's
Especially because,
not.
like, who cares about a PR if your mechanics are so bad that, like, you do another one of those, you might get hurt. You probably will get hurt.
Oh, and I hate, listen, and being in the world of speed and performance training, kids, tell me, like, I ran
Yeah.
4.7.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I hate to try to bust your bubble, but me, as somebody who love biomechanics, what does your foot strike look like when you
Yeah.
hit the ground?
Right.
Was you reaching out in front of you, running flat-footed? What were your arm mechanics like? I'm looking at things like
Right,
that.
right.
How can we improve that 4.8 that you ran horrible
Right.
to make you more efficient? You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So I hate when young athletes get fixated on the number, man.
For sure. I think all my athletes work out barefoot unless we're doing
Yeah.
plyo explosive stuff because
Yeah.
I think it's a foundation that we miss on.
Yeah, it is 100%. Yeah.
And I think a lot of hoopers especially don't know how to access their hips, so they do everything knees. So they're trying to do defensive slides on their toes, but there's
Yep.
no hip extension to get lateral.
Yeah.
And so then you're just loading your patellar tendon, and they wonder why their knees hurt all the time.
Yep.
Well, it's because your quad's strong, but it's because you have no access to your hips,
Your hips,
on the
man.
court.
Yeah, and that's the hips. I tell all the athletes I work
Yeah.
with, we have days where we're doing nothing but hip movements.
For sure.
Like you have to have great hips as an
You
athlete.
have to learn how to hinge.
You got to, man. I don't know one sport, maybe playing poker. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know one sport that you.
There isn't, bro. There isn't.
You gotta have your hips,
hockey,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Like hockey, everything's kind of externally rotated, and
Yep.
it's like it's
Facts.
a diagonal slide.
Yep.
Soccer, the elite ones when
Yep.
they get low when they get around people.
They do.
Basketball,
Yeah.
you take a snapshot of Steve Nash. He's touching the
Oh,
ground
man,
with his
yeah.
opposite leg as he's
Yep.
blowing by the other guy's knee.
Absolutely, yeah. You can go back to Kobe and Michael Jordan when they was doing that thing.
What's
right,
cool about Jordan, man, is like if you look at Jordan's mechanics and Anthony Edwards,
There it is. Let's go.
if you look at Anthony Edwards' feet and their shin angle and how they hit the ground, and Jordan and Shea Gilchrist,
Yeah.
it's actually the same. They have an outside angle of their foot. They have lateral propulsion with the outside of their lateral hip, whereas other guys like have a medial collapse and they lose like a little bit of efficiency every time they push off.
Really?
And
See, you're saying in a nutshell that I didn't know how to explain it, but I understand what you mean
Yeah.
because I know about the angles you're talking about.
Yeah, man. Like if your foot is not like grabbing the ground, like with 3 points of contact, your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel, and then you can propose that way, because then you're in supination, right?
Yeah.
Then you're losing efficiency in every stride. And people are like, why does Jordan move so well? Does Anthony Edwards move so well? It's like if you look at their mechanics, they actually are the same.
Yeah.
If they go to the side, the malleoli on the medial side doesn't drop down, doesn't collapse, they stay high.
That's crazy.
It's interesting because when you break that down like a force plate or like various biomechanical analysis, you'll see that like those mechanics are correlated with the highest jump and most power.
Crazy,
Stuff like that.
man. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know how I knew it, but I didn't know how to put it in terms like
Yeah.
you just did.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy, man. But like I said, hips is something that I know a lot of people overlook and they shouldn't, man.
They shouldn't, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now let's get to this one, bro. With social media being flooded with highlight reels and online trainers, and I don't want to make this like I'm doing negative stuff. I don't. My podcast isn't about that. But when you see these online trainers, how does a young athlete know who to trust? And I think I got an idea of what you're gonna say, but how do they know who to trust, and what should they be looking for in a legit performance coach?
That's a great question, man. I think it's so saturated now with people who pretend to be things that they're not, and it's nothing wrong with that. I understand that everyone's trying to get a platform, but I think the biggest thing is like if you see like a one-size-fits-all exercise, like POV, this fixes your knee pain, like that's probably not the person you're gonna go see.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Because like that's probably not gonna be the one.
Do this if you want to get faster.
Yeah, do just this,
yeah,
though.
just this. Like what?
So if you see someone who condenses everything in athletics to one video, like that's probably a red flag.
Yeah.
And then anyone who's trying to sell you something directly, I think that's something to think about. Like if you have a program that they're trying to sell, like if it's a fear-mongering approach, like if you have knee pain, buy this program. Like that's probably
You see
not.
it all the time.
That's not a great thing to see. I think.
Yeah.
Because you're attracting a customer that is susceptible to those kind of like language and words, and then you're pushing a program that may not be right for them at all.
Right for them at all. So, but you know the crazy thing is, man, the people who do this, they're like everywhere. They're blowing like viral all over social media, man. Like that's crazy. You know what
Like
I'm
knees
saying?
over toes example, right? Like
Yeah.
and Ben Patrick, someone I talked to many times, like he created a platform that made a lot of sense for the right person. And I think what happened is a lot of people took his ideas and then took his marketing ploy, and it's become saturated in his own like content, I guess, right? So it's like you can't use these 4 exercises for every single type of injury.
No, you can't.
If you have end-stage patellar chondromalacia, which is like cartilage destruction underneath your knee, like probably not doing a
Is that painful when you have that?
very painful. It's like you have no more cartilage on your kneecap. Like if you squat and you hear that noise, like I could
man,
I could probably
yeah.
do it right now if I had to.
Yeah. So it's like rub
It's,
is
yeah, we lost cartilage. So
Okay,
so we're
gotcha.
probably not loading a front knee over toe lunge because there's too much compression.
Okay. Jeez, that sounds painful.
So like for the right person, that exercise is good, but for the wrong person, it's a horrible idea.
Got you.
So
Got
that's the idea. Like the one size fits all, I think, is the main thing to look at. It's like you just can't condense everything into one answer.
God, that's crazy. But they hitting and blowing up on social media though,
I
man.
mean, yeah, there's people who make a lot of money online that do
They
that.
are,
and,
man.
and there's no
That's
hate on anybody
crazy.
else doing it, but it's
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
It's actually funny because it's funny you ask that because I've had patients who come to me because they look up an exercise and like I might be the next video that's after that one somehow, and they're like, "Well, that's a little bit different. Why should I do that one?" And
Yeah.
It's funny how they're searching for that, but then
Yep.
I might find them on social
You
media,
found
but
out.
indirectly.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's
So
funny.
gotcha. All right, now there's physical pain and there's internal drive. What fuels you to keep showing up, learning, and doing so much? You know, going above and beyond for the
Yeah.
people that you work with, man.
Man, it's a great question. I think I just have been in their shoes, so I wanted to be the best at my job I could be.
Okay.
I have a lot of self-pride about like being a provider, I guess, of care. And I think that if you aren't really dialed in with your approach and with your education and with your methodology, then I think you're doing a disservice. And I think that negatively weighs on your self-esteem. Like if I'm providing shit care, or if I'm like just telling people to do things and I don't really know why, like I'm actually looking at myself the other day being like, I actually don't feel great about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
which is like I know it all because I have this title, but I really don't. until you put the time in to do it.
Yeah.
So like when I started working with baseball guys, I didn't know a ton about, UCL injuries. I didn't play a ton of baseball growing up. But doing the research and really learning it and really taking the right courses, I feel like I'm confident with it now.
Absolutely. You took pride in the craft that you wanted
Because
to
you
get
can't
better
treat
in,
a little kid who his baseball's his entire life. Like I can't treat him with confidence if I don't really know as much as I can about it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like the drive is like let's make sure I give this kid his best care, because and then it'll be reflective of like your business growth and your reputation in the community and how people look at you.
Absolutely. And you touched up on that about learning the sport that you're getting to work with, right? And I look at hockey players that I work with. I've grown up in Arkansas. I didn't know a lot about hockey like that, man. And so when I got out here and had the chance to work with my first hockey player, I was intrigued.
Yeah.
I watch how they move on the ice, how they use the hips and everything. And I wanted to implement as much as I could to make my training match what they did, man.
Totally. Yeah.
So like I said, you're right, man. You got to know something about the sport that you
or if you don't, dive into it.
Yeah, dive into it. Yeah, dive into it.
A great mentor in school one time told me, he's like, if you treat a patient with a condition you don't know about, that's great. You can evaluate them. Next time they come in, you better know everything about it.
You got to know it. Yeah, 100%.
And then once you see a couple more of those, then you got to dial it.
Yeah, you do.
But you just can't have this approach where it's like, oh, I'll just figure it out on the fly. It's like that's someone's life.
Hell no. No, you can't do that, man.
Yeah.
All right. You've worked with a wide range of clients, man. What separates the ones who recover and level up from the ones who just get stuck, and just like go through the motions?
Yeah, man. I think that's a good question.
I'm giving you some questions, man.
I think specifically to the person, like how much they value their actual recovery. Like some people think that more on-court volume is better always. And it's not always the case. Like you may actually have a better outcome 2 days later if you took that Tuesday off.
Okay.
So the guys who understand the work to rest ratio as a comprehensive understanding of getting like healing, that's one part of it. There's some guys that talk a ledge off of not going to the weight room every day. So there's overdoers and then there's people who are underdoers, right? There's people you got to beg to do a home exercise program. So the people that succeed is probably in between. They commit to the process. They understand the value of taking a day off here and there. But they still put the work in. So if you, for example, you have a patellar tendinopathy or patellar tendinitis, you got some guy who wants to play 6 days a week. It's like you got to have 1 day off and like 2 days of heavy isometrics, and that's part of you still going forward. Versus like just trying to jump every day.
Gotcha. You said, man, you know what, man? Seeing people try to be more explosive, that's the one thing they want to do is go out. I got to work on doing this jumping every day. Like, why?
Yeah.
What, man?
You're just overloading things that need to remodel overnight, and I think that's probably the biggest thing is people understanding you got to take time a little bit away, like deload the activity to build back up rather than continue just to load.
Gotcha, 100%. Now, so let me ask you this. Would you rather have a person who overdid it and you have to try to talk them from doing it, or would you want somebody who is underdoing it, you trying to talk to them?
I think the overdoers I'm all about, man, because like I think those are the dogs, like those are the guys that really care.
Yeah.
And so you can use science, you can basically use methodology and different words to convince someone to stop doing things. But it's very hard to motivate someone who's not motivated to do shit.
Man, you are 100% right.
It's hard to motivate people to get in the weight room if they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And there comes a point where it's like this cross path where it's like this is not worth it to me to make you better since you're not as committed.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right, man.
So
you're right. When it comes like to training. And you're doing performance training, at that point you feel like you're just babysitting.
If I'm sitting there and the parents drop them off for an hour and the kid's just like wandering around like throwing balls at the wall, like that's not for me.
It's not for me. No, I don't want you. I've definitely put people out of my program for that. I can't have you, man.
So to me, I'd rather the guys who are committed and want to show and want to be there. I think those are the guys I'd much rather have in than the guys who you got to beg to do the work, I guess.
So when you, I'm going off a little bit topic right now, but when you have, I know you came across this, but you have parents who wanted more than what the kids do.
Yep.
What do you do? What's your approach on that, man?
I keep it real, man. That's funny. It's funny you said because yesterday I had a conversation with his parent and his kid. His kid's a tennis player, and like he's just not. He's probably not going to be a pro tennis player.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. Like, in fact, he's most likely not going to be pro anyway. And that's okay though. Most people aren't. But like, we can't convince him and convince his entire childhood to be that of a pro tennis to train like that.
Yep.
Because there goes his childhood.
There goes his childhood.
And what happened? I see it all the time. Kids get burnt out because they're forced into a sport. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a kid fake an injury. Yeah. Like over exaggerate injury to get out of a sport. Yeah. And most of the time it's with like the single sport athletes, like tennis, golf, like the single sport ones are the ones where the kids seem to be forced to do too much volume
Yeah.
and want to way out of it, but don't know how to.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it so much, man.
Uh-huh.
Kids they rather like sit out of a sport.
They would rather
Yeah.
fake an injury and not be there, not
Yep.
disappoint their parents because they lost. Because they're
Yeah.
not, and it's sad to see.
It is, man. It is.
And in Orange County, man, like we're in the mecca of high school sports, right?
We
Like you
are,
got Mater Dei,
man.
Bosco, J.
Yeah.
Sarah, all these
You
schools
got
are right
Mission,
here.
all this. You got so much
Mission and football
right
too,
here.
yeah. And so what happens is like we had this like competing with the Joneses
Yeah.
mentality.
Yep.
And the reality of it is like there's one kid every 100 maybe is like gonna go to college, right? Like even less.
Yeah.
But all their friends think they're all in the same group, but
Yeah.
like they're probably not.
They're probably not.
And so
Yeah.
you kind of have to just like break it down like, hey, look, this is the needs of a pro MLB pitcher. This is how big they are.
Yeah. And look where
This
we
is the
at.
reality of it right now.
Yeah.
Like let's just find it in between.
It's right in between and go from
You know?
there. My God. Let's go. I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right. So you weren't just in the lab. You were in the game. I know you played basketball growing up, but were there other sports that you played as a youth athlete
Yeah.
and everything?
I played soccer and baseball as a younger kid. I think I specialized in basketball when I was like 12. I was like, this
Okay.
is what I want to do.
Got you.
I just excelled at it, and I played at a pretty high level. Played in college, and a lot of my teammates like Drew Holiday, DeMar DeRozan, Paul George in the league for a minute.
Oh, you played with them?
Yeah, in AAU, and
Really?
growing up against them all the time
Oh,
in the same
that's
circuit. So
dope,
they're,
man.
they're the same
Yeah.
year I graduated high school.
Oh, that's dope,
So
man.
I was always like the one short kid on the team that could shoot
Got
threes.
you. I was just I interviewed Darren Collison.
Okay,
and
yeah.
he brought up Drew Holiday
Yeah.
in his days at UCLA, and I didn't even realize Drew went to UCLA, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize that, man. But wow,
to
you
Campbell,
played.
and
you
went to
played with
Campbell Hall.
Yeah.
And then his Paul George's co-host Dallas on their podcast was my roommate in college at Cal State Northridge.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
So the small world
man.
comes full
Small
circle
world.
again. Yeah.
Full circle,
Yeah.
bro. That's crazy, man.
Mhm.
And so, how was it playing with those guys at that age?
Like
man?
eighth grade, man, like this guy named Ari Allen, who was like Baby Shaq on Ripley's Believe It or Not, that show. That was like Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Dude,
Remember
I
that show?
remember that show, and I remember the guy.
He was 13,
Yeah,
he
Baby
was
Shaq.
6'10".
Yeah.
So him, Brandon Jennings, DeMar DeRozan, a guy named Malik Story went to ASU, and some other guy that was on
Malik
the team.
Story, that name sound familiar.
Yeah, he was a big time player. But off the tip in eighth grade, tip back to Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings was a half court lob to DeMar DeRozan, who throws a dunk
Oh, crazy.
off a kick.
Eighth grade?
Eighth grade. And I'm like, well, that guy's going to NBA.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not, probably.
Yeah. All right. What am
But-
I supposed to do with that, man? He's in
Yeah,
eighth
so you
grade
just
doing
see
this?
these elite talented guys, and you're like, wow, that makes sense. Like, they're still hooping at that high level.
That's crazy,
to
man.
catch a half court lob in eighth grade.
Yeah,
off the tip.
Off a
Like,
tip. So the
yeah.
ball didn't even touch the ground.
Tip back to Brandon Jennings, looped around, threw it from half court.
That's
I'm just like,
insane,
what
man. So, dang, I didn't know you played. So Brandon Jennings from out here?
No, Brandon Jennings from Compton.
He's from Compton.
Yeah.
He's from Compton. Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
so like all in LA, it's like from LA is where I'm really based at. So
Yeah,
my,
yeah.
my parents would drive me like down to Riverside or down to Downey or down to like Loki's Compton for
Yeah,
practice.
for practice. What AAU team did you play with?
I played for Compton Magic for a minute.
You played for the Magic.
For a second, and then
Yeah.
I was on a team called Branch West for a while.
I never heard of them.
Just the AAU has changed so much
It's
though,
changed a lot. man.
because it used to be like you could create a team, go to Vegas, and like your team could compete with anyone because it wasn't super teams.
Yeah.
Now industries have funded super teams, and they have
Funded
mini
super
leagues, and it's a
teams,
full
yeah.
enterprise, man.
It's an enterprise, man. I know, bro. You brought that up. I was looking at some video on social media.
Mm-hmm.
They was talking about the whole AAU scene in basketball. They said youth sports has become a multi-billion-dollar business now.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that until they said it. And you brought up AAU
I
basketball.
mean, I got guys I work with personally that are paid to be on AAU teams and paid handsomely.
That's crazy.
And when they travel to Arizona or Vegas, Utah, wherever, Georgia, where like the Peach Jam, like
Yeah.
all of it's paid for the parents too. Like for
That's
me, like I had to
insane.
figure out how my parents were paying to get to Vegas. Like
Yeah,
how are we
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
afford this?
Yeah.
They're getting paid to go
That's
there.
insane, man.
Like in fact,
yeah.
I got guys personally that are literally in talks with two AAU teams to see which one will pay them more money to play on their next summer team. How crazy is that? And like as a 16-year-old.
I was I went to I do performance training out of Ladera OGP,
OPG,
right?
yeah.
OGP.
Yeah.
And they had the big 3 SSB tournament, and I was there in the weight room.
Yeah.
I just had like a little recovery station set up
Cool.
for the athletes come in and foam roll,
That's a good
just
idea.
just try to keep them,
Yeah.
from
It's
doing
a,
those.
it's a great thing
stuff.
to offer, man. They
Yeah.
need that.
They do, yeah. So I
Yeah.
was doing that, man, and this one kid came in, and he was from Utah.
Okay.
And he said, "Yeah, man, I moved out here because they wanted me to play on this AAU team."
Mhm.
I said, really? He said, yeah, they paid me and my family to come out here. Couldn't believe it. I said, wait, what?
How much do you have to pay someone to relocate?
That's crazy.
Think about
Yeah,
that.
I
Think about
know,
that. Like,
man.
what does that cost? A lot.
Bro.
I mean,
Especially in California.
I have guys in the Trinity League, bro, that literally are from the Midwest that are now in California, and they are being supported by that school. And their parents uprooted their lives to move out here, an apartment in Santa Margarita. Like,
yeah. With dreams of their kid going to
with
the
their
next
kid,
level. Going
maybe,
there.
yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, for sure. But like, that's crazy that
Sheesh.
that's even a thing.
That's crazy, man.
Like,
It's a thing. You're
like
right.
Jay Sarah right now, man. We got three like international dudes coming in next year that are
That's
like
crazy.
Luca's type thing.
That's crazy.
Like dudes who want to get to the league,
They
but
wanna
like
get-
know
yeah.
that the exposure's better in the
Yeah.
United States. So like, how do we finagle that earlier?
Oh, that's wild, man.
So let's go to a world class school like Jay Sarah.
Yeah.
Have world class facilities, get paid
Yeah.
for free to do that, and then
Absolutely.
live. And then it's a bonus, I guess, to the school.
I'm living maybe better than what I was living
For
where
sure,
I'm
no,
from,
100%, 100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane, man.
It's just a weird thing to think about because we didn't. We didn't have that.
Yeah,
right?
no,
That wasn't
hell
a thing.
no.
No.
Hell no, I didn't have that growing up. Shit. I damn sure didn't have that in Arkansas, man.
Right.
Yo, that's wild. All right, now I know you mentioned that you went to college in San Diego. Did you go to San Diego State or where did you go?
A school called St. Augustine.
St.
It's like
Augustine.
a private school for physical therapists, and they have a PA and a med school.
I do know about it. I do know about St. Augustine for sure. I do. Can you tell me about your time there?
St. Augustine was cool, man. It was an expedited program, so 2 years and 8 months compared to like USC, which is 3 years and 6 months.
Okay.
And it was just a really fast, rapid education thrown at you.
They,
and then,
they crammed
like,
everything
you cram
in.
4 years of education in 3 years, because 2 years and 8 months includes the full year of clinical rotation, so that's on-site work. So you really had 2 years of education crammed in like way too fast.
That's crazy.
For me though, like the school is kind of built on like old methodology. In other words, the guy who created it like kind of like not really proven to be true anymore, some of the stuff they were teaching. So I had other mentorships like from Duke and from another guy in Boston that I was like co-working with in school. So I'd be asking questions. The professor would be like, you sure about that? Because that's not really what we're seeing.
Absolutely.
Like manual therapy, for example, I'd be like, are we breaking up knots? Like, no, we're not breaking up knots. Like, because like those are not like those aren't things. And so that was my only gripe with this school, was that it was like kind of set in a foundational principle. But my clinical rotations were great. I got to work with the Ducks for a minute, got to work with the Angels for a second, and I got at Scripps Hospital in La Jolla. So those three experiences like really kind of shaped the beginning of my career.
Got you.
Yeah.
And then you were there for basically 3 years.
Yeah,
you
pretty
said?
much 3 years.
3
Yeah.
years. I got you. Damn, that's a lot of information to cram, man.
Yeah, yeah. The board questions are tough because like
Yeah.
every question has 2 right answers. You got to pick the best one. So it's like patient has elbow pain,
Yeah.
and it's like, is it epicondylitis or is it a nerve thing? And like you have to differentiate between the histories of which one it is. So it's very frustrating because you got to really read every damn page.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you touched on that some of the stuff has like been proven wrong or not practiced correctly.
Yeah.
So and you seem like the type of doctor who would say something to the
For
professor
sure,
if
yeah.
it wasn't right. How did that go over for you when you did that?
You
man?
know, they have like a economical or like basically a financial obligation to the school to provide that curriculum they want to, whereas they know I'm probably
gotcha.
right.
Okay.
So like it was a weird like interplay where they like couldn't admit they were
But they
wrong.
would kind of give you
but
like
kind of tell me
yeah. Okay.
And so that was
Okay, it makes sense. I get you where you're coming from. Now,
yeah,
man.
if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it does.
But
man.
luckily, man, I had a master's in exercise physiology before I got into PT school.
Really?
So I'd already had a master's in exercise phys, which really sets you up for understanding exercise. In
Yep.
PT school, you don't know they don't teach you the stuff that we do. Like they don't teach you about loading, about hypertrophy.
Really?
It's not part of it. That's a CSCS thing. So most physical therapists don't have a strength and conditioning background at all.
I didn't know that, bro.
That's very common. Like if you go to
Yeah.
average PT who doesn't play sports themselves and like majored in bio and got into PT school, like there's no exercise progression. It's like, how do I get you out of a tissue healing standpoint? Understand that, but there's no like plyometric introduction, like lateral bounding. Like that's not part of that.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. The blend between you and I,
Yeah.
like is like the average PT and you. Like there's not a gap. Like there's a big gap between the knowledge base. Yeah,
What?
because physical therapy is more about gait analysis, the metrics, like how to assess somebody, but it's not really about how to get somebody from that 6 month mark of an ACL tear to sport. It's more about how 0 to 6 months.
Holy shit.
So how do we get you walking? How do we get you up a stair? How do we get you not
Yeah.
to kill yourself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how do you get someone full sprint, decelerate on one leg, and then laterally bound the other way? Very common, man. Yeah, it's a big thing. So that's why I was like, what are you talking about, Band-Aid ER?
Yeah.
He's gonna do what for who? For after what? After how long? You know?
What the fuck?
No, this is a problem in our field. It's a big problem. And so I think every PT should have a CSCS med minimum.
Yeah.
Or some sort of personal training, because like, how do you know exercise principles if you weren't athletic or didn't major in kinesiology?
Right
don't,
about
is
that.
the answer to
Yeah,
that.
you don't. You can't.
How do you?
I'm learning. Like, 'cause I
Well-
didn't even know this, man.
PT school is now so competitive that it's very comparable to medical school, where you have really high like applicants who have high GPAs. Don't get into medical school, get into PT school. So it's like that
Is it
demographic,
like
like
that?
that non-athletic kid who got
Yeah.
straight A's in chemistry, who didn't get into med school, but
they
then
dropped
got into
out.
PT school
PT.
because like it's slightly easier.
Yo, that's wild.
So
man.
yeah, and PT mills are saturated with that type of clinician, and that builds a horrible reputation for what this industry is.
Damn.
So you have a kid who has an elbow injury, and goes to PT down the street, does BS exercises for 6 weeks, gets
Yeah.
nowhere. His parents now look at PT as a waste of time in general, until they come into like our clinic.
Okay. Now I'm starting to, because I know of some of the kids that you worked with
Yeah.
and continue to work with, and now hearing them say things,
Yeah.
and it kind of made me like, really? I know where they got it from. It makes sense now. It makes sense, man. It does.
Take it.
I rock with you, bro. I got you, man. All right. Okay. Now, if a young athlete came to you right now and said, that I want to go D1, I want to make it to whatever league they want to go to, what is the first piece of advice that you would give them from somebody that you worked with D1 athletes and you've seen their work ethic and everything? What would you tell a young kid?
Man, I would say to enjoy and have fun in the sport, and don't look at it like a job, because if you're already looking at it like you have to go D1, you're looking at this as a role.
Yeah.
And most Division I athletes become Division I athletes because of their abilities, not because they're set only on that.
Gotcha.
And I think a lot of kids get burnt out with
They
that
do.
mentality. Like, how
They
many
do.
parents are forcing them, you got to play Division I? It's like, well, do we?
Do we? Yeah.
Do we really?
Yeah.
What about NAIA?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
because of the mental disappointment that's associated with D1 if you
Yep.
don't make it there.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I say is, let's be realistic, and like if you don't have the prerequisites, like the average basketball player, man, like an NBA is 6'7".
Yeah. Average.
Average.
The
average NCAA basketball player is 6'6". It's not much different. You know what I'm saying?
Much difference, yeah.
So if you're a 5'7" guard, like we're probably having this good conversation where, unless you're unbelievably skilled, like
you have to be a straight dog.
to be a beast,
Yes.
beast athlete, like physically, because you're a defensive liability.
That's what I'm saying. You have to. Yeah.
That Kevin Durant podcast was cool. He said that. He's like,
that's
there's
what
no
he
room
said.
for
You
6'2"
saw the way he
guards.
did with the
Yeah.
Bronny. And listen, love LeBron James. I'm not like his hugest fan, but I love him. Respect. He's one of the greatest players that the game has ever seen. But you can tell when KD said that.
Right.
It struck a little nerve with
It
Bron,
is,
man.
right.
It did,
But
man.
I mean, it's kind of like the reality. It's like, well, are we actually physically like prerequisites for the sport? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of just like have fun, because if you lose enjoyment,
Yeah.
it's
My
hard.
guy.
It's hard to keep playing, right?
God. Right. Last one I got for you, man. If you could talk to a kid who wanted to follow in your footsteps and do what you're doing, what is the biggest piece of advice that you can give them?
I would say ask questions, stay curious, and like go and observe the places you want to eventually work at or the people you want to be around, and like beg to get in the room with them.
Gotcha.
And like just hang out and like just fold towels. Who cares? Like you'll learn just from being around it, and you'll really see this is for you. Because like there's nothing worse than getting into a field that you haven't really experienced in and then committing to that, you know.
Gotcha.
But I think just getting into the right relationships and networking in the right environments and just watching and being in the room, like a fly on the wall, that's the best thing you could do.
Just soaking them knowledge, soaking them knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. My guy, you are doing your thing in the world of physical therapy. Like I said, I've learned, we've been sitting down for about 45 minutes now, man. But I've learned so much from you in this just short time frame that we've been talking, bro. And it shows
Appreciate
your work.
that.
It shows, man.
Thank you,
I'm
brother.
looking at your work. And like I said, that's why I want to have you on the podcast, man. And I'm grateful that I know you have you in my circle now, man. And you keep doing your thing, bro, because it's definitely showing, man. from the kids I know personally that you work with. They love you. When I told them that, yo, I'm gonna get him on the podcast, like, yo, let's go, Coach D. Yeah, you gotta get him. He's my guy and everything. They say, man, you're gonna love him. You're gonna love him, man.
Awesome.
And so I'm happy that you was able to pull some time away, man.
I appreciate you inviting me, man. This is cool to be here and to connect with you, and hopefully we can like collaborate
we
professionally,
will.
like in the future, because we see the same people.
Yeah,
and,
we do, man.
And there's no reason why we can't keep pushing the needle.
No, we're gonna
forward.
do it, man. Yeah, we definitely. I'm a person like I'm a loyal person, straightforward person, man. Yeah, if you help me out, I help you out. I got you, man. We'll talk offline about all that, man. But yeah, we definitely gonna connect for sure, my guy.
All right.
My guy. Hey, everybody, man. Please, can you give everybody your social where to follow you at, please, man?
It's dr.kylejordan on Instagram, and then our company Prodigy will be out pretty soon, so we'll be able to pop that. And peep that pretty
APL
soon.
Sports Show exclusive.
Yeah.
Prodigy, baby. My guy, Kyle, thank you again, man. Appreciate you guys. We are out.
Sweet.
Let's go, man.